Good morning, my name is Reggie Bray. I'm an Operations Section Chief with Pacific Northwest Team 2, and this is today's operational update for Saturday, September the 3rd. This morning at 0600, Pacific Northwest Team 2 took command of the Double Creek incident. Also, we took command of the Nebo incident that's in the Eagle Cap Wilderness, as well as the Sturgill incident in the Eagle Cap, and the goat fires, goat 1 and 2. So I'll start a little bit with our plans for today. So actually, let me talk about last night. So last night on the Double Creek, there was movement of fire down into Adams Creek and College Creek, down out of Double Creek. It got down to some control lines that's the previous incident management team and the local unit has been working on to protect these our priorities here along the Imnaha drainage. And so saw some movement over here as well to the south, down in towards Granny Creek. So today, the Double Creek fire is a full suppression fire. We are actively putting in control lines to protect these values at risk. These are our priorities here along the Imnaha and in freeze out. To keep those values protected. Today, looking at inserting crews and resources. They're putting dozer lines in around the private, trying to, as the fire works down, starting to grab the edge of that and establish an anchor, and then protect as we go north, trying to keep up with the fire as it comes down into Adams Creek. And so there'll be some trying to do some burnout operations going north along those control lines. To the south, we're scouting to come down off of the Hat Point Road, scouting these ridges and see how we can tie down into the values here as it comes off. It's just not really safe to put people up in there up against the edge of the fire, so we're using air resources, tankers and helicopters just to kind of keep that in check while we look at options to build our lines down to the Imnaha drainage. Also, we've got structure protection going along Imnaha and in freeze out, really to protect those values. Here on the north side of the fire, as we come around by Hat Point, here up on the edge of Hell's Canyon Wilderness, looking at options to keep it out of Hell's Canyon and keeping it to the west of the Hat Point Road. And then we have resources that are starting to scout and look for options to the north as well. As we get up here by Horse Creek Overlook, we've got some resources that are looking at options, again, to tie this as this fire moves to the north, where we can get a line established into the Imnaha drainage. As we switch to the fires that are in the wilderness, let's go to the Nebo fire. We have resources here working up at the Tenderfoot Trailhead there along Big Sheep Creek, trying to keep that fire. There's a few spots to the north of the creek, keeping that fire that knocked down with aviation and trying to get some resources in there so we don't have any continual spread to the north. And then also doing some prep along the road systems to establish a line as this fire wants to move out with masticators, feller bunchers, things like that up there. Just working on that road, just prepping that with the crews that are in there, those resources. As we move to the Sturgill fire, there was movement last night to the northwest. It's back down into Garwood Creek, and so really the priority is to protect the values here in Minam Lodge and the Red's Horse Ranch. We have resources in there that are doing structure protection. We also have resources actually on the Sturgill fire here up on the ridge, directing aviation and doing some control line, picking up some spots that's come over the ridge. And so just trying to maintain keeping that fire from wanting to move north. And also we're just watching it as it backs down into the Minam drainage and making sure that it doesn't cross the Minam drainage and move back to the southwest. So we are taking opportunities where we can with the fires in the wilderness. Even though they're remote, we want to keep the growth minimal where we can to keep those fires from coming outside of the wilderness. The Goat 1 and 2 fires showed a little bit of heat in the upper part of Bear Creek drainage this morning. We do have a couple of resources in there, direct and buckets and aviation resources to keep that at a minimum, the intensity and the fire behavior in there, just to watch that. That is the end of today's operational update. Thank you.